This is the Pecron Portable Power Station E2000LFP. What grabbed me on day one was how serious it feels about real power, not just marketing. Key features that matter to me are a 1920W LP LiFePO4 battery, a 2000W pure-sine inverter with 4000W surge, and up to 1200 watts of solar input managed by 3 MPPT controllers. On paper, that reads like a compact off-grid system. In practice, it comes surprisingly close. Look and feel. The body is a chunky block with rounded rubberized corners and big side handles. It measures roughly 16 by 10 by 11 inches and weighs about 48.5 pounds. I can lift it, but I don't want to carry it far. Portable is generous. Transportable is more accurate. The casing is tough plastic with a mix of metal hardware, and the port covers snap back into place with a confidence that tells me they'll last. The front layout is clean. AC on one side, DC and USB on the other, and 3 input ports up top. 2 GX aviation connectors for AC charging or high voltage solar, and a DC 5521 input for low voltage solar or car charging. The display is a simple segmented screen that shows watts in and out, battery percent, and status icons. It never shuts off, which is a design choice I don't love, and it's a bit dim under bright light. The most polarizing bit is the external 600W charger brick. It's big, it gets hot, and it has its own fan. The upside is that the heat stays away from the battery inside the main unit, which is better for the cells. The downside is you're hauling one more thing: experience. From my experience, setup for AC charging is straightforward. Plug the brick into the wall, then the GX port, and you'll see about 600 watts going in. Mine typically goes 0 to 100% in roughly 3.5 to 4 hours on one brick. I borrowed a second brick for a weekend to try the fast mode and saw right around 1.8 to 2 hours to full, which is fast for this capacity. Car charging at 12 volts is only around 100 watts. I use it as a trickle during long highway drives, not as a main charge method. The solar side is where this thing earns its keep. I wired 2 residential 400-watt panels in series into one high-voltage input, and another series pair into the second. Midday sun gave me a steady 900 to 1100 watts total, and the MPPTs tracked quickly when clouds rolled by. That means I can run a 500 to 600 watt daytime load and still climb back to full by the afternoon. If you're new to this, MPPT is the smarter charging tech that optimizes the voltage current for best harvest, and having 3 of them, with 2 that accept 32 to 95 volt, lets you use efficient series panel strings instead of stacking 12-volt panels in parallel. On the output side, the 2000-watt inverter is legit. I ran a 1100-watt microwave and saw clean output with no dips. A shop vac spiked on start but stayed well within the 4000-watt surge. My 100-watt USB-C laptop charger pulled full speed from the PD 100-watt port, and the 15-watt wireless pad up top is a nice drop-and-charge spot for my phone. The DC 12-volt socket is regulated and steady for a portable fridge. Mine has the 30-amp RV-style port, and it handled a small camper load without tripping. There are quirks. The fans inside the unit ramp up during heavy charging or big loads, and the external charger has its own fan, so charging can sound louder than you'd expect. The biggest operational drawback for me is the idle drain. There's no real power-saving mode, and the screen never turns off. So if I leave it sitting unplugged, the battery drifts down over about 2 weeks, even with nothing plugged in. That rules out charge it and forget it emergency duty. Also, it's not a true UPS. If you're powering sensitive gear like a desktop or a NAS, the transfer during an outage isn't instantaneous. I used an APC UPS as a buffer, and that solved it. I hit the common BMS calibration hiccup once, stuck around 80%, and then it died sooner than expected. The fix worked for me. I drained it fully until it shut off, then charged it back to 100% in one uninterrupted session and left it on the charger until the brick's light turned green. After that, the state of charge made sense again. What I like, in my opinion, the solar capability defines this box. The dual high-voltage inputs are a big deal because standard residential panels wired in series are cheaper per watt and more efficient in soft light. When I can feed it 1 kilowatt plus of solar, I stop thinking about the external charger entirely. The inverter feels stout and predictable, and pure-sine output means my electronics don't buzz or overheat. LiFePO4 chemistry is the right call here. It's safer, and it's rated for thousands of cycles. so I don't baby it. The port selection fits modern life. A real 100 watts USB-C, a spread of USB-A, 12-volt DC, and wireless for convenience. The expansion path matters too. I tested an EB3000 pack on loan and liked how the system behaved as one brain with extra capacity. The expansion battery having its own solar input is smart. I fed solar to both at once and watched the whole setup soak up power faster than a single unit could. From my experience, that modular approach is where this platform stretches beyond a typical portable power station. There's room for improvement. I miss a mobile app. Even basic Bluetooth would be enough for checking status from inside a camper. The always-on display needs a toggle, and a brighter backlight wouldn't hurt. The weight is the weight. I'm fine with it since LiFePO4 and a 2 kilowatt inverter are not feather light. But I use a small cart when I need to move it more than a few feet. I've also seen complaints about slow shipping and mixed customer support. Mine arrived without drama, but I've read those threads, and I hope the company tightens that up. It's perfect for people building a solar-first setup for RVs, van life, small cabins, or a garage workspace where daytime solar can keep it topped up while you run tools or appliances. It also shines as a quiet alternative to a gas generator at a job site for anything within its 2000 watts continuous envelope. I wouldn't rely on it as a set-and-forget home emergency battery, unless you're actively charging it or you're okay with plugging it in every week or two to top off. I'd recommend this for someone who values solar input and modular growth over polish. If your priority is a silent, always-ready UPS with remote monitoring, this isn't it. If you want a rugged core with serious solar throughput and a real inverter that can handle a microwave, power tools, a fridge, and still take a heavy solar charge, this fits. Key features that sealed it for me are the triple MPPT architecture with high voltage support, the honest 2 kilowatt sine inverter, and the LiFePO4 battery that can be cycled hard. The trade-offs are the external charger, the fan noise under load, the idle drain, and no app. For my use, solar-heavy days with mixed AC and DC loads, the benefits outweigh the quirks. In conclusion, the Pecron E2000LFP isn't a cute gadget. It's a compact power system with real legs if you feed it solar and keep it working. Treat it like the heart of a modular setup, and it returns the favor with reliable power and straightforward behavior, once you understand its limits and a couple of workarounds. You can find detailed information about the Pecron Portable Power Station E2000LFP in the comments section. See you in the next video.